In the past decade, there has been a dramatic increase in astronomers and scientists either dying of rare incurable diseases or being killed. Is this the reason why more astronomers and scientists are not coming forward to warn the public of the imminent flyby of Nibiru, as to do so they would be signing their own death warrants? I do believe the evidence is there for all to see. Countless astronomers and scientists have been eliminated, either by assassins or infected with deadly diseases, to maintain this highly classified secret that Nibiru is approaching and will lead to a massive loss of life. And as I reported in my previous video, the timeline of 2012 for this event was out by at least a year, and astrologically NASA knows this. The people of this planet are waking up to the fact that our leaders are incapable of telling the truth. When these politicians are elected, or in some countries they are not elected, they have to sign a secrets agreement. The leaders of these world governments are not allowed to disclose top secret information. If they do, they are eliminated, such as happened to JF Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. This is how the shadow government maintains a tight grip on information they don't want the public to know about, such as their greatest secret, the return of Planet X Nibiru. The terrible loss of life of prominent experts in their fields, be it astronomers or scientists, is alarming and should wake you up to the fact our governments are hiding a deadly secret from you all. And if you knew how devastating this coming event will be, you would give up work tomorrow to be with your loved ones in these final days of our civilization. This following report originates from newzealandherald.co.uk, that's nzherald.co.uk, and it's regarding the scientists and astronomers that are dying in very suspicious circumstances. This one titled "The Twisting Case of Antarctica Poisoning Death" by David Fisher, and was released on Sunday, March 15, 2009. A homicide inquiry should have been carried out into the death of a scientist in Antarctica, according to an internal report for the elite American agency accused of stonewalling New Zealand police over the case. The internal report is referred to in the documents from the inquest into the death of Rodney David Marks, 32, an Australian astrophysicist who died in Antarctica under mysterious circumstances. The Herald on Sunday was last week granted access to the documents, which revealed heavy drinking and drug use at the American-run Amundsen Scott South Pole Station. The documents come from New Zealand inquiry into Mark's death in 2000, which began after an autopsy in Christchurch discovered he had been poisoned by a fatal quantity of methanol. This following report originates from CNES2012.blogspot.co.uk, titled "Astronomers Are Dying, Coincidence or Something Bigger?" by Thomas Moore II, and was posted on November the 24th, 2010. Astronomer Brian G. Marsden, a comet and asteroid tracker who stood sentinel to warn of possible collisions with interplanetary rocks and other remnants of the solar system's creation, died November the 18th of cancer at a hospital in Burlington, Mass. He was 73. Also, this following report, titled "2012 Earth Changes, 2 Astronomers Dead, Mysterious Suspicious Circumstances. Murdered Astronomers." This was posted on May the 20th, 2012 by Barbara Schneider. Astronomer Koichiro Moriata and astrophysicist Stephen Rawlings at Kama Large Millimeter Array ALMA. The greatest fear a cover-up has is uncontrolled unravelling. As Planet X comes closer to Earth, the cover-up becomes more vicious. The deaths of Japanese astronomer Koichiro Moriata and astrophysicist Stephen Rawlings, University of Oxford in the United Kingdom, are both mysterious and suspicious. Moriarty had been working on Atacama Large Millimeter Array ALMO radio telescope in Chile. He was found unconscious outside his apartment on Monday, May the 7th, 2012. Rolling's body was found at a bungalow in Southmore, a small town on the outskirts of Oxford, on January the 11th, 2012. He was a key figure in the Square Kilometre Array SKA telescope project, which will be the biggest telescope ever built. Koichiro Moriarty, who worked at the Santiago headquarters for the Atacama Large Millimeter Array ALMA in Chile, was found unconscious but alive outside his apartment at around 2 a.m. Monday, May the 7th, 2012. The supposed victim of an assault. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he died about 6 hours later. Neighbours and police noted that Moriarty showed no visible signs of injuries. It has been announced that Moriarty's death was the result of brain damage from a blow to the head. Not evidence when he was found unconscious. Investigators have not determined the cause of death. NASA van rolls into canyon in SoCal. 3 dead, 7 others injured. Jet Propulsion Lab. LA Calendar, Flintridge, California. A commuter van from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory tumbled 200 feet, 60 meters off a twisting mountain road Wednesday, killing 3 people and injured 7, 2 critically. Authorities said the van was carrying 10 people to the laboratory when it plunged off the Angeles Crest Highway in the Angeles National Forest about 6:30 a.m. PT and rolled down a mountainside about 15 miles, 24 kilometers north of downtown Los Angeles. And astronomer Eugene Shoemaker dies in car crash, Associated Press, and was published on Saturday, July the 19th, 1997. Summary: astronomer Eugene Shoemaker, who discovered the comet that slammed into Jupiter in 1994, was killed in a car accident Friday in Australia during an annual trip to search for asteroid craters. He was 69. Shoemaker died in a 2-car accident on a dirt road about 310 miles north of Alice Springs in central Australia. For the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com, where I've posted the link. Now guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. The amount of astronomers and scientists that are being taken out by the elite is alarming. And this in itself is evidence that they're trying to hide and maintain this cover-up that Nibiru Planet X is coming in. I advise you to do some research and you will be amazed at what you find out. These following extracts originate from BibleSearchers.com, titled Nibiru and the binary twin dwarf star arrive in our solar system. More blog sites. Planet X Nibiru. What is the difference? Nibiru is derived from a binary failed star orbiting our sun at a great distance. This binary object is a sub-brown dwarf, several Jupiter masses in size. The term Nibiru comes from the Sumerian cuneiform stone tablets writings that are 6,000 years old. The term Nibiru means planet of the crossing. The Sumerian culture is the first recorded civilization on Earth, then called Sumerian. In what is today's Iraq, Sumer, land of the Watchers, Mesopotamia and Babylon are all the same location for Earth's first advanced culture, the Sumerian culture, which based on the artifacts and monuments that still remain is known to be the oldest known civilization. The Sumerians were the first to invent the origins of writing, maths, science, medicine, astronomy. Nibiru was called the 10th planet, or the 12th solar body surrounding our sun, and called by modern astronomers as Planet X. The Sumerians have left us artifacts and stone tablets, pictures that describe a race called the Anunnaki, who came from another planet within our solar system. The Sumerians call this planet Nibiru, which is where the Anunnaki are said to come from. According to the Sumerian translations, Nibiru has a 3,600-year orbit around our Sun. All the other information the Sumerians state include the colour of the outer planets and even the distance between the planets, which has been proven to be accurate. Space probes in the 1970s took the first colour pictures of our solar system, which confirmed the Sumerians' description. What will happen when Nibiru, the comet planet, passes Earth again? Will its powerful gravitational pull cause a polar shift, mass flooding, a chain reaction of major earthquakes and volcanic eruptions worldwide, or be blown apart by NASA and shower the Earth with flaming meteors? Inasmuch as it is perceived that the orbit of Planet X moves to the outer reaches of the Oort cloud. The research of Dr. John B. Murray, a professor at the Open University in Milton Keynes, England, chose to analyse this object. In 2 recent studies, he analysed the orbits of the comets travelling the inner solar system that were believed to have emigrated from the Oort cloud into the region around the planet Earth and the planet Mars. Of this group of comets, he discovered compelling evidence that a certain group of these comets did come from the region of a cloud-shaped arc that stretched clear across the sky. It was his professional opinion that the usual pattern of this cloud-shaped arc actually marked the wake of a massive heavenly body as large as the planet Jupiter that was moving in the outer regions of the Oort cloud. As it moved, the massive body kicked or ejected comets outwards from its arc-shaped pathway. To have such force, this planetary body must have been as large as Jupiter, including a mass more than 10 times Jupiter's weight. Its orbit around the Sun was calculated to lie at a far distance that was 32,000 times the orbit of planet Earth. The conclusion of the research of Dr. Murray, as published in the monthly notice of the Royal Astronomical Society, shows that his computer models depict that this massive object, the elusive Planet X, did not originate in the Oort cloud during the creation of the solar system, but was rather captured in its current orbit at a later date. Then we note a separate research project that was collaborated by a research team of scientists that included Doctors John J. Maltese, P.G. Whitman and Daniel P. Whitmere at the University of Southern Louisiana in Lafayette. They presented their findings at a meeting of the American Astronomical Society and later was published in the Icarus magazine. It was their discovery that the evidence depicted by the clustering in the Oort cloud that is demonstrated actually the evidence of the presence of an unseen planet. They could not see the planetary body but could perceive the magnetic force of the presence of its massive body. Within the body of their research, this massive unseen planet actually orbited the Sun at a distance that averaged about 25,000 times farther away than the orbit of planet Earth. It was also their conclusion that this immense Oort cloud solar body had a mass that was 1.5 to 6 times the mass of the planet Jupiter. As we perceive the size and immense mass of this solar body, we again return to the evidence that possibly this same planetary object is also the same stellar body that will return at the time of the end, bringing with it the final judgments of the God of Israel that will be as devastating as the Noachian flood. The effects of the apocalyptic devastation upon this planet potentially will be incalculable. It will truly be the end of an age, with only a hope that a remnant chosen by the Messiah will survive into the next era a relative close flyby of Planet X transversing in the vicinity that inhabits on this planet can see all the defined features of that dark star with its planets would truly be called nemesis, destruction, may in the estimation of the prophets and even the non-biblical prophetic images be the causation of the deaths of billions of humans. Okay, my friends, you're all invited to join this channel by subscribing to End Times 23, which is a totally free subscription service. You're also invited to add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, or drop me a line on my blog. All the links are under this video, my friends. All this week's news links can be found on my website, endtimes23.com. The link is under this video. Just click on the link and go to the top left hand corner of the opening page and click on the Cosmic News link. You will find all this week's news links at the top of the page under this week's title video. Well, that's your lot for this week, my friends. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back with you in a week's time with another edition of Informer News. So until then, this is your Informer signing off, friends. I'll see you on the flip side. With deadly diseases to maintain this highly classified secret that Nibiru is approaching and will lead to a massive loss of life. And as I reported in my previous video, the timeline of 2012 for this event was out by at least a year, and astrologically NASA knows this. The people of this planet are waking up to the fact that our leaders are incapable of telling the truth. When these politicians are elected, or in some countries they are not elected, they have to sign a secret agreement from you all. And if you knew how devastating this coming event will be, you would give up work tomorrow to be with your loved ones in these final days of our civilization. This following report originates from newzealandherald.co.uk, that's nzherald.co.uk, and it's regarding the scientists and astronomers that are dying in very suspicious circumstances. This one titled "The Twist in Case of Antarctica Poisoning Death" by David Fisher, and was released on. In the past decade, there has been a dramatic increase in astronomers and scientists either dying of rare incurable diseases or being killed. Is this the reason why more astronomers and scientists are not coming forward to warn the public of the imminent flyby of Nibiru, as to do so they would be signing their own death warrants? I do believe the evidence is there for all to see. Countless astronomers and scientists have been eliminated, either by assassins or infected. The leaders of these world governments are not allowed to disclose top secret information. If they do, they are eliminated, such as happened to JF Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. This is how the shadow government maintains a tight grip on information they don't want the public to know about, such as their greatest secret, the return of Planet X Nibiru. The terrible loss of life of prominent experts in their fields, be it astronomers or scientists, is alarming and should wake you up to the fact our governments are hiding a deadly secret